What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is episode 2 of our 4th gen Tacoma decals. Episode 1 goes over our front end decals, which are our rib vent ones and our fender vent decals. Episode 2, we're going to be going over our window stripes, which come down from up here and come forward, and then we have different designs. So the first one that I'm going to install is our Excalibur one. It's a decal that comes down from up top and ends in a point right in here. Looks phenomenal, probably one of my favorites. It's not too much, but it adds enough of an accent to a vehicle where it stands out. I'm going to be doing the heritage side, or heritage colors on the passenger side, and then we're going to move on to our impact decal, which is our basically rocker panel area decal. And then the last one, which we want to leave on the vehicle for the time being until we get some new decals released. And when we wrap this thing fully, which I can't wait for you guys to see that, we're going to leave on our legacy decal, which comes down, kind of follows a line, and then drops into the fender, kind of like the old style Toyotas. The best thing about that decal is it has a little bit of movement in it to where you can shift it forward and have it end in here, or you can pull it as far back as you want and have it end somewhere down in here. That's what I'm going to explain in this video. So what we're going to go ahead is show you guys how to get this all measured and ready so that you can apply the back part of this and then move to the front. First thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you have no debris. You can even clay bar it if you want to, but for sure, we already washed our vehicle. Yep, it's dirty though. It got washed, you know, maybe 2 or 3 days ago. So luckily everything comes off with a quick wipe. And yes, we use alcohol. Hey, what is this, 99? 99%. You can use a glass cleaner if there's like dirt on the truck. That'll help like moisten any debris so you can like wipe it off. And then your final wipe before you put on the decal, we highly recommend an alcohol of some sort. For this install, you're gonna need your decals, some chapstick, because I know most of you love CBN, thank you. Shout out to Christian. Most of you when installing these decals, you're gonna be like, lining them up. That's why you want a chapstick, definitely the tape. Okay, let's grab our decals and get them lined up. Okay, make sure the back side of the decal is clean because that is gonna touch the surface of the vehicle and we don't want anything left behind. Then what we'll do, geez, flipping this thing around like craziness. Tacked up. Let's grab a tape measure. Okay, so up here on the top, there's kind of a little divot or like a valley right here. You can kind of see and feel it. Rolls around the side of the vehicle. What you want to do is basically get the top of that parallel and almost like just barely going inside of the valley. Okay, and this one does go right up in the valley. Okay, I'm gonna show you what I'm looking at here. So this decal actually does come into the middle of the valley almost. I would say, honestly, in the middle of the valley. Then the measurements that you're wanting to look for is from the edge of the door. We are 3/16. Up here. Right here we're 1/4 inch. Right here, just kidding. 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch. 1/4 inches. That's how you know this is going to be set properly. If you have a little divot like this, kind of where it pops out, that's totally okay. Then right here, there's not going to be an exact measurement, but basically the door panel comes up, then there's kind of a flat plane here, and then it goes into the door. And we want the top of the decal to sit basically right before it starts going into the vehicle. It looks like from the vehicle, we're going to be just over 1/4 inch. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So almost 1/2 inch. 6/16, so 3/8.
Oh, no.
Nice, bro. Okay. Once we get this kind of squared away like this, what we're going to do is before we put that down, we are going to get the front part aligned as well. And what you're going to want to do is overlay this decal onto this one. Okay. Right there's kind of a happy spot with it. Okay, so what you're going to want to do, if you can see right here, you can see kind of how it lines up with the black and then with the gold, like it's the same width at that point. And then this excess is going to be cut off. This overhang portion on both sides is purely for alignment. So you're not going from a decal that's this big and then installing a decal this big or vice versa. We want it to all flow as if it were one decal. Okay, the moment we get this alignment like perfected, we'll just lift this one up, tape it to the window because we already like the position of this one. Then what we'll do is we'll take this one, we'll get it to a spot where this point won't move. And what we're going to do is we're going to apply this section of it. And the gap on the top is supposed to be the same. So it's supposed to angle and kind of taper off, but the top line stays up against the window and then the bottom line kind of comes up to it. It doesn't like angle down or center out at all. Then what you do is when you have your center line for this one where the rest of this looks good, you're going to get your knife and you're going to cut it on your transfer tape. So that way you're not cutting on your paint. Okay, and then look, when you lift it, now we know exactly where to lay it down for perfect alignment. So now we're going to bring this out, make sure our surface is nice and clean. Take this down, and then you want to cut this or rip it away from the decal. Otherwise, it'll leave paper prints on the back side of the decal when we go to apply it this way. Then from here, you're going to add a little bit of pressure just to make sure it's taut and there's no wrinkles in it. And then you're going to press it down right there. Okay? Then you can just lightly just kind of feel it out, make sure there's nothing under it or behind it. Then you're going to take a squeegee, or credit card, or whatever you want to use. And I'm going to run a hard set right on the middle to make sure nothing is, basically your center point is taken care of. Then we're going to use this squeegee and squeegee out the rest of the air that might be behind the decal. Great. Looks so good. Okay, now because the front side of this decal can't go anywhere because it is set, we're going to leave these two decals for alignment references. So again, we're going to do a cut only through the tape. Okay, pull this off, pull that off, come this way, pull off the rest of our, oh, whoops, Okay, so the first thing we're gonna line up first is this lower piece. So we're gonna get it into its spot. Sometimes you might have to pull it just a little. Okay. Then we're just gonna lightly kind of tap here, kind of follow this body line out. Good, now we're pressed to there. Then we're gonna bring this up, kind of give it an upward pull just slightly, just a little bit. Tack that top part. Okay. Then what we're gonna do is, now that we've kind of pressed this middle section in, we're gonna grab our squeegee and we're gonna kind of feed. You can see that it's kind of wanting to bubble just slightly right here, which is perfectly fine. We're gonna squeegee this portion down. Okay. Okay, and then if I try to just, if I squeegee down everything and just leave this section to distribute this little bit of extra material, it'll wrinkle. So what we're gonna wanna do, right from the get-go, we wanna press on that wrinkle and kind of press up and distribute it up a little higher. So we're gonna kind of press up like that, and it gets rid of the wrinkle just a little bit. And we can even come down here, distribute it in here, and now there's almost no wrinkle. But you can see it kind of like ripple just a little bit because I'm pressing this little bit of extra material and distributing it so that it doesn't stay in this single area. Then we're gonna come up here, hit that edge nice and hard. We're gonna go through. Boom, press all that out. That wrinkle went away, or just slightly extra material. Then it's basically down. Now we're just gonna squeegee out the rest of the air out the backside. Make sure the edges are all pressed down really well. Great. Now we're at the point where we can just leave everything, but we're gonna grab our transfer tape. This helps the decal not distort or change at all while installing this. Makes it more malleable or maneuverable. Then you want to keep the paper close. Don't pull it off like this, or it pulls the vinyl off. Pull it this way. It allows the decal to stay flush. And all we're removing is the transfer tape. Excellent. And the great part about this is this section of the install is the same for both our Excalibur and our Legacy decal. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our knife. There's this door edge, and then there's this door edge. We wanna cut closer to that door edge so we have enough to wrap down into the edge. I kinda have the top of my blade angled in toward the door. Brought it down, kind of angle out just slightly to go around that trim piece. Chop it down, not the perfect cut, but that's okay. And what we can do is we'll open this door, and you can see right here, add a little bit of pressure. You can see it kind of wants to finger up just a little bit. What we can do is just press straight down on those fingers, and not only press down, but like stretch it into the crevice. Boom. You can see there's a little bit more fingering right there. What we can do is, I'm actually going to cut off this little area that I left a little jagged. A light score to the vinyl, and hopefully, yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm going to leave those fingers there because I'm going to show you guys how to get rid of them. And remember, we're always post-heating all of our decals to 185 degrees. So what we're going to do is I'm going to add just a little bit of heat to those. You honestly could have heated them prior, and then you're going to put pressure on them. There we go. They really just don't want to go away. We can run just a light scoring edge. I'm not even going through the vinyl, I'm going through the laminate, which allows the scoring of just the decal. Literally makes that edge perfect. Now on to the front. It's already aligned, so we're going to take off this piece of tape that was our alignment for the front. Make sure the surface is clean. Then we're going to take our decal, line it back up, and we actually want to tape it to the decal that's going to be put on. Okay. Then what we're going to do is make sure our top line again is the same distance from the door sill. Okay, so we're going to get this up here like that. I really like that placement right there for that first section. We'll come down here. And this thing should fall just right under just want to be careful with this thinner section on the end that you don't distort it right at the end. So now what we're going to do, now this back side is all, almost took off the wrong portion. Noob.
Unless that's something, but I'm just a video guy.
I'm just the video guy, but I know when a mistake's happening. Oh, lightly pressed. Okay, now with this front one, I think what I'm going to do is cut it on the bottom piece of tape like this, because I can't really get a piece of tape up further. I'm going to bring that up. Let that out. Insane how much dirt. Ooh. Okay, here we go. Got all lined up. Made a little boo-boo right here, which is perfect because that way I can show you guys how to fix it. So I pressed too hard, too fast. So I went from the left side to the right side really fast, really hard, and it basically pushed a bunch of extra material to this point. This part was already pressed, and then it distributed it right there. So the only thing we can do right now, we're gonna grab our knife. I'm trying so careful not to scratch the vehicle. Okay, from right here, okay, we can either take off the front and reapply it, or we're just gonna get a little bit of heat. Okay. Kind of let it cool again. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply pressure just right in the middle. And then we'll press up. Fixed. Then from here, we're gonna press down the rest of this decal. Dang, it turned out nice, Gina. Look at it. Yeah. So right here you can choose whether you want to include the little piece that goes on the door trim or just kind of leave it white. I want to show you what it looks like keeping it first. This. Okay. And then again, cut on the other side. Get to this side. And like I said, it's probably gonna work a little bit better if you add a little bit of heat to it. Softens it out a little bit. And then what you can do is run your finger right along that edge, kind of just feeding it to the back side of the door. This is gonna help if you go through car washes that it doesn't snag an edge and rip up your whole new decal. The other modification you can make that I've kind of looked at is I actually don't like it sometimes going over all the way to the end here. So if you want to shorten it up, you can actually grab your razor blade and kind of curve out the end, which I'm going to do on this one just because. I'm going to come video it over here. I like this thickness right here. Will prevent any catches or anything. So I'm just going to light. Boom. So it kind of gives it that rounded edge, which I'm a huge fan of. Get that mirror out of the way. Boom. Looks great. Let's do our legacy decal. It's already clean. I'm gonna go in the middle of the gutter. That's what I'm gonna call it from now on. The gutter. Gutter for the butter. Boom. Put that guy in there. We're gonna add some pressure right here, kind of like see how it kind of brings that the end of it up. Okay, this is the portion where we shift some stuff around. Okay, as you can see, this thing has a tail on it, so it allows us to shift it, geez, clear up to right here if we wanted to, right? Come look on the front. So this is about as far forward as you can go. You can see it's almost fully off of the rear fender, and then you're going to use that portion of it. I actually like that. So that's as far forward. A mid look is going to look something like, probably like that. Or a portion of it's on there, but still flows into the fender. And then the furthest back you can go isn't limited by the tail anymore. It's limited by the front here. So we'll shift this thing back as far as it'll go. We'll go back even further. Okay, keep going. You can go as far back forward as there is room in the tail, but going forward from about the crest of the bump here, we're about 4 3/4 from the door crack. So 4 3/4. So that means you have essentially, I don't know, 14 inches of adjustment, which is a ton for this decal. So as we go forward, we're just going to keep that edge right on the top there. Through here it does get a little tricky because the fender kind of, instead of going from a flat face, it kind of curves this way, which makes the decal look like it's either going to go up or actually come down sooner than what it actually is, even though the dimensions are all the same. So, okay, we got it lined up where we wanted it. We chose to have, which if you want to copy our look, we are exactly 5.5 inches of tail. And that should, yep, we're basically gonna, the fender kind of goes like this, and then it kind of has like a flatter part, and it's kind of leaving right there in the middle of that fender. So, okay, we're gonna do like we did before. We're gonna take this front piece, we're gonna shift it off, stick it to the window, get it out of the way. Where do you like where this one is sitting? Boom. Sometimes I get lucky. Not today. I'm gonna do a soft touch, so I'm gonna rub my finger along kind of like that ridge line, and then come out to the tape. And from here I can squeegee down. Get all that set. Okay. And then again, I have this kind of flare out just a little bit because I chose to bring that one in and it lined up perfectly. I'm gonna kind of push that wrinkle up the face of the decal. I don't know if you can see that, but it kind of gets rid of the wrinkle here, and you can see it kind of moves it up the decal so it doesn't all end up in one place and put a wrinkle in your decal. I'm going to run our finger along that hard edge right there. Again, pull with the decal, don't pull away from it. Might rip the decal off the truck. Dang it. Now, if you do have a little part lift as you're pulling, finish pulling it off. Don't try to go back and squeegee it out because it will leave a wrinkle in it. Finish pulling it off and then add a little bit of heat to that section and it'll shrink back into its form, and then you can apply it. Shrinks a little bit. So where there's that crease right there, or that body line, press down hard on the body line and then just work your way down. Look at that, no wrinkles that time. Then we're going to do the same thing here. Beautiful. Okay, so we got our kind of halfway point. We're going to make our cut. This off. I recommend doing that with a rag. But when you do it with vinyl all day, you kind of just get a feel for it. Lightly apply first. Great. Then we're going to leave this as a marker because really this is the only important one. And all the rest of them, you could even do the marker here, just somewhere in this area as kind of a reference point of when you pull it this way. Then the rest of these we can get rid of. Oh yeah. So we're going to pull from right here so that this line is all taut, right? Make sure it's straight and lined up. I'm just going to do a light tack right there. Looks great. I'm going to kind of squeegee that in. And what we're going to do, this portion of the rep, we're going to have to kind of work our way into. So we're going to squeegee all this out, right? Because transfer tape is not vinyl, it will not want to stretch into any sort of like, or conform to any sort of surface a lot. It will a little bit, but not a lot. So I'd say get it squeegeed maybe down into this section. It's probably all you're going to be able to squeegee it into. Oh no, it looks like it'll want to go a little further. Okay. Sometimes it doesn't. I'm like running my finger in the valley to try to get out. Okay, I'm gonna leave it right there. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back here. Get rid of that piece. Oh, so focused on the front. Remember when I said if you didn't get a part tacked down, leave it. Okay, so right here it's not bad one at all, but you can see that like I stretched it just a little bit. It's not enough, but typically you can add heat there. And then you kind of want to push on the triangle part first to get it to kind of distribute out and lay flat. Okay, then this section. So I'm not in the way of everyone. I'm going to show you the ideal way to do this if you're wanting the best install. You're going to want to add a little bit of tape in here, masking tape specifically. Masking tape does not let vinyl stick. So by doing this, the reason I'm doing this is because it's going to allow, when I go to tuck that vinyl into that fender, and if I want a really tight fitment, I want the vinyl to be able to slide into that tight fitted area, opposed to get stuck on the fender and it not want to press into that area. So I'll go over here, and you can just work your way down on this. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? You can save that, use it on another part of your vehicle. What we're gonna do is we're gonna press to the fender, press to the fender, press to the fender. If you have an even tighter tool, like this, you can squeegee it even deeper into that crevice so that there's literally no chance of any white showing. Then we're gonna grab our knife, find that edge, just lightly put some pressure on it. Veered off course there. And then we'll grab my little fine squeegee. Boom. Dang, she turned out good, Gina. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna address this seam right here. I'll press it in there just a little bit. And what we want to do is put the blade on the inside of the door frame. Okay, that's going to take care of that one. Okay, and same thing on this one, but this one might be a little more challenging. I think what I'm going to do is press this one in a little further. And then so I kind of went mute there because I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. So the best way to do this is actually to leave that side. Cut on the bottom edge of the door, which is going to give you a longer piece over on the fender side that actually tucks in really well. And it turned out great. Then what we can do is open the door here. What's nice is it exposes the longer one, so we can actually fully press that thing on the inside of the door. Then you can go on the inside of the door. Done. Now what we're gonna do is post heat. This is actually a decal we're going to keep on here long term. Make sure you get the edges really well. What? Oh yeah. Dust, dude. That's what happens when you work in shop where we do off-road builds too, and we didn't prep for this today. Boom. Got that done. I love my job.
Mine.
There's something satisfying about laying some vinyl. Jeez, that looks really good. Then, if you want to, you have your little bit of leftover, you can pretend my mirror was clean. You can do one here. Might be a lot. Probably a more popular place. Jeez, dude, my truck is so damn dirty. So bad. Probably a more popular place would probably be right here. I'm just doing this quickly because if you want to do this, you could do another one if you want to. Seal that edge. Okay, here we go. Our impact decal. What I love about these is it doesn't go into the valley here. It stays up on top. So we're gonna kind of feel it out right where on the top, and then we're gonna scoot it forward. Okay, and go down here. Right on the edge, which is right where we want it. Then don't tape anything else. I'm gonna tape just one more right here.
Don't tape anything else. Wait.
Actually, okay, great.
So you know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna cut out the lace. Do still around it.
Oh, but cut out this color.
Perfect.
So I cut it out. And that way it like.
Because the match and not match is bothering.
I know.
But we could match this color also. We have this color. We've matched that color before. I feel like we should have done
I
brown.
would say turn down for now because
Okay, this one you can also shift. So if you want like a shorter tail, you can. If you want to go all the way back, you can. We're gonna make it decently long. Then once you get it in a spot that you like, get back here. Okay. I got one good eye, you know? One good eye. Then for reference, for those that are gonna ask, how far forward did we go? We have a 2-inch tail. That's how much is hanging out the back. What we're gonna do is we're gonna apply this little section first.
those are crazy questions, bro. I would not. I would just be like, how's it look? Alright, that's good.
I like it, buy it.
Yeah.
Okay, got this. Whoa.
Not how you did it
Whoa.
last time, bro.
Huh?
Not how you did it last time. Change your mind?
What did I do this for?
You lifted it up and peeled it all back and then brought it down.
Oh, from the top down? Yeah, I'm gonna try it this way this time.
Clean things up, guys.
Interesting.
You do whatever you want.
There's 2 ways to apply these. Don't let the critics tell you differently.
Don't get wrinkles, that's all that matters.
Seriously, dude. No one wants to get old out here. Perfect. But I frankly just like this method better. I kind of pulled on it to make sure that there's no tension in there. Then I'm gonna probably apply a line all the way to like this body line right here. Then from this body line, I'm gonna push out any excess material out to the front. Now we've just divided our decal. We've divided top and bottom. So I'm gonna finish squeegeeing out the bottom here. Moving all, if any, access to the front. Okay, so we could have actually done this probably 1/2 inch further back or 1/4 inch. You can see right here where this kind of dips in just a little bit. It's fine. It's gonna still look fantastic. Okay, then we're gonna press down this way. So it's cool with this, actually. You can wrap down onto your fender if you want to. Just want to make sure that the whole door panel is going to be covered. Then we're just going to run our razor blade on the edge of the door. When you run this razor blade, let's pretend this is the bottom of the door and your razor blade is there. You want to angle this down just a little bit so that you don't accidentally come up and catch the edge of your door because it'll chip the paint. So when your razor blade's down there, angle it out just a little bit and then run it. That'll give you also a little gap on the bottom to allow for you to fold underneath the edge. Okay, that's the piece that's coming off. And then we're gonna go here.
We're almost done with this.
Oh, here's a good example. What happens if air bubbles get in our decals? It's all air release. So you can come over here, you can see I left some air bubbles in there. Put your finger on it. Distributes the air, gets rid of it.
Magic.
It's magic, people.
Magic vinyl.
Pull it around the edge nicely, like this. Pull it around the edge nicely, hold it tight. And just run your blade. Clean. Then, before I forget, you have that little flapper part on the bottom. We're gonna grab our heat gun. Wow, the paint on this truck is terrible. The paint? Again, when I get here, I'm applying tension to make sure that there is no wrinkles or any tension left in the middle of the decal. And even pulling it out, you can see it kind of lifted a little right here. So I'll pull that away and just press out the rest of it. I love you for you. Okay, here we go. Something's misophagus. You see it? See that? They're different.
Yeah. Something aligned there. I was lying that when you put it down. You could see a little bit of the transfer too.
Well, you can barely see it, and I just won't put that in and try not to show it. But I'll show Heather.
Lines are
Yep.
orange and red are off.
Yep, we're gonna have to let Heather know. But from a far away picture and everything, it'll be just fine. Can you super tell? Cool, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure that after you're done applying your decal, that you come through, that you post heat literally every square inch, focusing a ton on the edges. What it is that all of our vinyl have little silicone. It's gonna go your vinyl, then your adhesive, and then there's these little microscopic silicone balls that sit on it that allow you to move the vinyl around without it fully adhering to the vehicle. Then once you add pressure, those silicone balls press up into the adhesive itself, which allows it to adhere to the vehicle. Then heating it allows those silicone balls to fully not be like pressed in, but kind of disappear into the vinyl. And then the adhesive takes full tack onto the vehicle, and that's what makes these decals last long. If you do not post heat, you can expect within a few weeks even, for the decal to legit just come off. You have to post heat, you got to warm it up, get it hot, squeegee it down, don't get it too hot. 185 is where you want it at. If you have any questions about this install, alignment, whatever, leave a comment down below. We literally try to get to these comments as soon as possible, so that you can read them, and if they're helpful to you, great. We're going to put timestamps down below, so if you bought the Legacy decal, you can go to this certain time. If you bought the Impact decal, you can go to a certain time. If you bought the Excalibur decal, you can go to a certain time and jump to and just do that portion of the install for your decal. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, it helps our channel grow, helps us to create new decals. We get good feedback from you. Everyone benefits. So thank you guys. We'll see you guys on the next episode.